Hello friends. Last week we closed on a 21 unit apartment building, and one of the things we do religiously is the pre-closing walkthrough. This is typically done the day before you close, just to make sure that everything that was agreed to on the contract and during negotiations, whether it was inspection or any other aspect, has been completed and the property is being turned over as expected. With this property being an apartment building, it's a little bit different than a single family home, but there's a lot of similarities. What we do typically is we start with the outside, make sure the exterior, everything is as expected, and with this closing it was. The next phase would be going into common spaces, whether it's hallways, stairwells, in your area that there's common usage, and to make sure that it's been cleaned, nothing's been left behind, and it's in proper condition. We have found issues with this one. Nothing significant, nothing we couldn't handle without a problem, but there were issues. Next area though is going into unoccupied and vacant units. Unoccupied, we went into that one, and only to find out the person was, the family that was moving into that unit was moving in while we were there, and the range had been taken out. So they're moving into their new home and they didn't have a range. We went from there to the two vacant units. The first vacant unit, back in December, about 45 days ago, when we were doing the inspection on the property, they were turning that unit and they were ripping the floor out which is pretty common. Whenever you have carpet, rather than putting new carpet back in, rip the floor out, put LVP in. If you want to change cabinets, that's a great time to do it. Get it back up so that it's when it's turned over, that it's in better shape and you can get higher rents for it. And they stopped. So back in December, 45 days ago, they were turning it, they were ripping the floor out, said they were going to do that, and then stopped right there. So we walked into the unit completely surprised. Appliances have been taken out of that one as well. Flooring was ripped out-ish. Nothing had been put back in. It was kind of a shell of an apartment with the exception of cabinetry. So we went from that to the next vacant. There's two vacant units. We went that to the next vacant unit to find appliances have been taken out of that one as well. So we said, okay, let's keep going. We went down to the laundry rooms. Each of the buildings have their own laundry room. And on this property, it's a mix of coin-operated machines as well as ShinePay machines. And ShinePay is a service that you can attach a device to your laundry machine, and tenants can go on an app and pay for the device, pay for their laundry. And as a landlord, I get paid through the app as well. So it's really convenient for everybody, and it allows me to put non-commercial machines in our laundry rooms. So really like it. They were supposed to stay with the property. It was in the contract. The landlord, the previous owner, had taken all the ShinePay machines, left the coin operated. We went to the mechanical rooms next. There was stuff in there too. Supposed to be empty. Your mechanical room should always be empty. That's where your boiler's at, water heater, any other mechanical devices that are needed to run the property. And then last but not least would be storage. This property had a very large storage area with roll-up garage doors. The previous owner was in construction, and he was using it as a storage space. And we knew that when we did the inspection, as well as when we did the initial walkthrough of the property prior to writing a contract. It's supposed to have that completely empty. Nothing had been emptied out of it. It was a bit of a train wreck. So after doing this walkthrough, we got with the listing agent who did an excellent job throughout the entire process and said, we're not going to be able to close tomorrow. We listed out all the things, and he was with us during the walkthrough, listed out all the things that have to happen before we could close. I did say that we could close tomorrow, and I'll take responsibility for everything that he has left. And I'll give you a number. And so went back, crunched some numbers of what that would cost, handed it, gave it to him. He talked to the seller. The seller said, no, I could do it for cheaper, which I'm sure he could, and he should have done that before the pre-close walkthrough. He said I could do it cheaper, and he said I could have it done by tomorrow. Give me 24 hours. The seller was against a reverse 1031 exchange. We'll talk about what that is later. But he was against a time crunch, and so he really needed to close by a certain date so that he could take advantage of that exchange. And so he got 5 guys in there just to do that one unit where they had the flooring ripped out and get everything back right. 5 guys working overnight. He had several guys. We swung by first thing in the morning, and he had several guys cleaning out the mechanical room and the garage spaces. He had other guys coming back and bringing all the appliances that he had taken out of both buildings, returned all of that to it, and it was all done by 3 o'clock. So we did kind of a morning walkthrough, just a brief walkthrough, just to make sure that there was progress in the building, and then we did the afternoon 3 o'clock walkthrough, which was the final walkthrough before closing, and everything at that time was how it should have been the day before. My estimate is that one action in our process, the closing walkthrough, that one action saved us over $10,000, just in all the different costs that would have gone into it, not even counting labor. Hope you're working on some great deals. Hope the properties you have right now are making you lots of money. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good day.